What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. So guys, recently I've received more than a few messages about a certain episode I made, What Happened to Waltham. Seems you vintage lovers out there have a bunch of questions about another vintage watch manufacturer that starts with W. How many can there be? What happened to Wittnauer? We're gonna talk about that today. It's 8:25 p.m. Let's get down to business. All right, what happened to Wittnauer? Guys, you know I absolutely love Wittnauer watches. They just make gorgeous pieces, and yeah, they're one of these companies that's kind of been passed along throughout the decades. You know, they made a bunch of really cool watches, then they went defunct, and then they got brought back, and what the heck are they making now? So many questions. Well, yeah, I made an episode a while ago. I think the title was like Bringing Defunct Watch Companies Back to Life, and Wittnauer was absolutely on that list. Again, I would love to see them have a little bit of a resurgence, a bit of a renaissance, if you will. The thing is, technically they're still alive, but they're not what they used to be. Okay, Wittnauer watches, where did they begin? Well, in Rochelle, New York, around 1885, a Swiss immigrant actually started a watch company called A. Wittnauer Co., and that stood for his name, Albert Wittnauer. Now, Wittnauer made a bunch of really cool things throughout the years. You know, pre-World War I, they were actually making navigational instruments for the US Navy, and then in World War II, they were making compasses for the US troops. So really rich functional tools. And one very interesting piece of trivia that I didn't know until I did some research for this episode was, according to Wikipedia, so, you know, yeah, I wasn't allowed to use Wikipedia in school, but for my YouTube channel, totally. Anyway, May 1932, Amelia Earhart did her first solo flight across the Atlantic in her Lockheed Vega 5B equipped with Wittnauer instruments. So that's pretty dang cool. Now, I don't know about what she was using during that last flight of hers because, well, I mean, I guess we don't really know how that one turned out. So yeah, as I was saying, Wittnauer has a very rich history, not just for timepieces, but really functional, useful things that have had a big mark on history. But navigational instruments, compasses, flight tools, all very, very cool. But as a watch collector, there's like a definitive moment in time that I really would consider Wittnauer's golden age. And that would be from the 1950s all the way to the 1970s. You see, in 1950, a certain company called Longines acquired Wittnauer, and boy, oh boy, did they do some incredible work. Guys, I'm pretty sure every single Wittnauer I've had at the T3 shop has been a Longines-made Wittnauer. Just incredible elegance, incredible attention to detail, great, reliable movements, some really nice, funky Art Deco styling. Longines crushed it with Wittnauer. I absolutely love all of those watches. Now, the 1980s weren't that great for Wittnauer. Technically, Wittnauer was still in collaboration with Longines, but you know, the 1980s wasn't really a great period of time for any watchmaker. That could be a totally different episode, but around 1995, Swatch Group was actually handling the distribution with Longines, and they essentially cut all ties with Wittnauer. Huge bummer. So what happened to Wittnauer after that point? Well, Bulova bought Wittnauer. I wish I could just end the episode right here. Now, if you Google Bulova Wittnauer, the watches that come up, like the first thing that comes to mind when I see them at least is Michael Kors, okay? That's the type of aesthetic that these watches are going for, I suppose. Essentially fashion watches, some of which being chronographs. I'm not sure if they are even functional chronographs. I see one with small seconds. I see a few rectangular, really gaudy pieces. Again, these chronographs, they do have big date complications variations, just incredibly ugly, and the antithesis of what Wittnauer was when they were producing watches with Longines. You know, Longines Wittnauer, incredibly elegant, sharp, sometimes Art Deco, and maybe even a little bit out there, but still, again, very tasteful. Whereas nowadays, Wittnauer with Bulova, it's like, hey, you gonna finish that? I don't know where I was going with that, but I was thinking of some idiot. It's just gross, is what I was getting at. So yeah, all jokes aside, officially 2001 was the end for Wittnauer as we know them, because that's officially when Bulova acquired them. So that essentially destroyed the company, in my opinion. So what would be my, you know, perfect happy ending to Wittnauer's story? Well, I would love to see Longines reacquire Wittnauer. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I think that's some big pie in the sky idea. I don't think that, you know, who knows? 2020, who the heck knows what could happen? We can dream, though. We can dream. And you know what? Shameless plug. For now, we can still find a plethora of vintage gems. Those Longines Wittnauers, those 1950s, 60s, and 70s Wittnauers. We can find them at the T3 shop and some other great vintage vendors. But any of these modern ones, you gonna fish that? Anyway, guys, I kind of like these little historical recap episodes. Very, very fun. Waltham, we knocked that one down. Wittnauer, we knocked that one down. Someone asked me about Lemania, definitely a company I would like to look at. Yema, definitely a company I would like to look at. But in the comment section, let me know which vintage watch companies would you like to learn a little bit more about, and maybe I can do some research and bring you an episode. So there you have it, guys. What happened to Wittnauer? Well, if you learned something new, please give this episode a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that dang bell icon so you don't miss out on any of the content we're making here. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a live stream Q&A every single Saturday, plus 2 extra pieces of content every week for our channel members, our certified T3 bots. Hit the join button next to the subscribe button. It's essentially YouTube's Patreon. $4.99 gets you access to the members only Discord chat, plus 6 pieces of content a week. Check out all the affiliate links in the description below. Check out my website, www.thetimtellershop.com, the #1 place to find affordable vintage luxury watches serviced with a 1-year warranty. Don't miss out on our weekly restocks, guys. I love you. Thank you for supporting me. We just broke past 125,000 subscribers. What the heck? So thank you, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with everyone you know. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.